Hi guys, I'm Chosen and welcome back to Minecraft HBM's Nuclear Tech Mod Edition.
It's been 84 years.
It has been an absolute eternity since I last made an HBM video. I'm pretty sure my last one was in about November of last year. But today, I'm finally back to reclaim my crown after so much time of playing Subnautica. And I actually do have a statement on that at the ending of this video, so if you're interested in that, please stick to the end. I just got back from editing Subnautica, I think 17. So, I'm not the type of person to say this, but guys, please, powerful likes to keep me going because school is about to start in about 10 days, and editing and everything is taking a long time. This latest Subnautica video is over an hour long, which I'm sorry I did go overboard that time, but it's just really, really cool. But without any further ado, today's entry in the How to Master series is early game machines, because you need to master early game machines as soon as possible, so that way you're not missing materials and understand them fully by the time you get to the mid and late game, which will help you craft more advanced materials such as dash, enriching uranium, crafting weapons, things like that. So, the video chapters should show up now. If you're interested, please skip to the timestamps on screen for whatever machine you would like to learn about specifically. So today we're going to be covering two types of early game machines. We're going to be covering the multi-block machines, which are two, and the single block machines, which are five. Don't let the single block fool you. These are usually almost as important as these. So let's start with the very foundations. The assembly machine, the foundation of this mod, the thing that keeps you alive and allows you to craft pretty much everything that the mod offers. The assembly machine is crafted with an anvil. You need 4 glass, 8 steel, 8 copper, 2 motors, and 4 vacuum tubes. Put that all in an anvil and it will give you an assembly machine, which you can craft and place down as a multi-block. Once you've placed it down, you can right click it to open its GUI. Here to the left, we have slots for putting materials that you want the assembly machine to use to assemble things. Basically, this is its internal storage buffer. However, you can expand it with crates, which I will show you in a minute. Here we have a portable battery slot. However, if the assembly machine is hooked directly up to the energy grid, you will not need to use this at all. Here we have the template slot, where you need to put the template that the assembly machine will follow to know what to craft. This is the most important, and as you can see, it gives you an error if the machine does not have an assembly template. I'll show you how to make them and, I'll show you how they are in a minute. Down here, we have a progress bar for whatever you're crafting. You can also click here to see all of the different recipes that the assembly machine offers. Over here is the slot where the final product will be. And over here to the top right, we have 3 upgrade slots for different upgrades each. As you can see, if I hover over here, it tells me that there are 3 types of acceptable upgrades. But we'll see that in just a minute. So let me show you quickly how to use this. You will need a template, energy, and the materials for whatever you want to craft. For example, I have a template here for a tank, which is a machine, quote unquote, that allows you to store fluids inside of whatever type you like. As you can probably imagine, it's very useful. It has a large buffer. You can hold things like water inside or certain acids depending on the type. As you can see here in the inputs tab, it will show me all the materials that I need to craft 1 unit. I need 2 steel ingots, 6 steel plates, 4 steel shells, and 4 wood tar. or any type of tar, to be honest. For this case, I'm using oil tar. And as you can see, I so happen to have all of those materials with me. So, I actually have a few spare. Let's put it in. And as you can see, the assembly machine will start working, it will start making this noise. And the progress bar will slowly start filling up. And when it's done, there we go. There you have your tank or your assembled product that you want to use. So that is how the assembly machine works. It all it needs is energy and its template, which I recommend keeping in a crate somewhere. Now we move on to the second part, the chemical plant, the second most important machine next to the assembly machine. It allows you to craft different chemicals from other fluids, mostly fluids, but also things like dash and satinite, which you will need it to progress further in the game. The chemical plant is crafted in an assembly machine with 12 steel, 6 copper, 4 steel tanks, 3 heating coils, 8 insulation or insulators, and an analog circuit board with the correct template inside, and it will give you the chemical plant, which you can then place down. And once you have it placed down, you can right-click it to open its GUI. As you can see, this GUI is much more complex than the assembly machine, but don't worry, I'll walk you through it. For starters, here we have 2 tanks, which are used to store fluids that you will use for the process of creating chemicals. Here are sort of tank slots. If I place a filled tank with, say, water in here, the tank will empty and this buffer will fill. Over here we have slots for putting materials. We have slots for materials, which are some recipes require solid materials, like for example the dash recipe, which requires dash blend and mercury and light oil. So for example, the mercury and light oil will be here, and the dash blend will be here, and then it will allow you to craft. Up here we have the portable battery slot, same as the assembly machine. Here we have the template slot. And be advised that the chemical plant actually uses different templates than the assembly machine. They are chemical templates, not assembly templates. But once you craft the machine template folder, you will be able to craft all those. You just need to search for the right one. Down here we have the progress bar, as you can see. You can also click on here to see all the different recipes that the chemical plant offers. As you can see, like I said, some of them require solid materials, which is what the bottom slots are for. Over here, we have 3 upgrade slots, just like the assembly machine. The acceptable upgrades are speed and power saving, which all stack to level 3. Also overdrive, but it doesn't say there for some reason. I think HBM broke it. And over here we have the outputs, which is basically the same. Tanks for output fluids and slots for output materials. So let me show you how to craft. Well, let me show you how this works with one of the most basic recipes. That being hydrogen peroxide. You actually need a lot of hydrogen peroxide throughout the mod. It is an oxidizing agent and it will allow you to craft many different things. So all I need to do is follow the instructions. Just put the template here. And as you can see, the error is gone, which means that we are ready to input our materials. And this tank has been set to water, which is where we need to put water, of course. As you can see, the inputs is just 1,000 millibuckets of water. So I have an infinite water tank here that you can craft with a diamond, 6 aluminum plates, and 2 water buckets. And simply place it here and it will start filling up. And as you can see, once the amount is enough, the chemical plant will start working. It will do this animation and also make noise. And this tank, which is hydrogen peroxide, will start filling up. And this will actually go on infinitely until either all the water is run out. See, if I take this out, all the water will eventually run out. Or until the hydrogen peroxide tank is full. And the way you empty the hydrogen peroxide tank, well, it depends. You can use, for example, universal fluid tanks. You can see, place one there, and it will give you 1,000 millibuckets of the hydrogen peroxide. However, the method that I prefer is simply having a barrel. As you can see, I hooked up a barrel with a universal fluid duct to the chemical plant, and it will automatically output the hydrogen peroxide to the barrel. So as you can see, all the hydrogen peroxide that we just made is in there. Just put that back in there, and that is it for the chemical plant for now. Now we can move on to the 5 one-block machines. That being the shredder, the burner press, the iron anvil, the anvil, the blast furnace, and the bricked furnace. Let's start off with the shredder. So the way the shredder is crafted is in an assembly machine. You need 8 steel plates, 2 motors, 2 steel beams, and 2 iron bars. With the right template, it will give you 1 shredder block. After you place it down, well, you obviously need to connect it to the grid. But you also need some other things. Once you right-click it, you'll open the GUI. Over here is the energy buffer and the slot for portable batteries. There are many different types of those, but that's not my focus today. Here we have the input slots, what you want to be shredded. Here we have the output, which is where the final product will be. And here you have the progress buffer as well. You can also click here to see all the different recipes that it offers. And finally, here we have the blade slot, because a quirk of the shredder is that you actually need shredder blades. Now, there are many different types. For example, I'm using steel today. Simply place them both in there. And as you can see, this error goes away, which means that we are ready to use the shredder. And once I put in an iron ingot, as you can see, it will get processed into iron powder. And well, you are going to need iron powder for many different recipes. Now, a quick pro tip is that if you spread the inputs across there, it'll be faster. See, there we go. Instead of just placing them all in one slot, which will take so much longer. So I recommend splitting the outputs like that. The inputs whenever you can. But do keep in mind that the shredder blades will eventually be worn down and you'll need to make new ones. Unless it's with dash shredder blades, in which they are infinite durability. They do not need to be repaired. Next up, we have the burner press, which is another of the most basic machines that you are going to have in this mod. The way the burner press is crafted is actually with a crafting table. You need a furnace, 6 iron ingots, 1 iron block, and a piston. So the way the burner press works is once you place it down, you can right-click it and open its GUI. It works a bit differently to the previous machines because it uses this mechanic called heat. Over here we have a heat meter. As you can see right now it's at 0% because we're not using it. And well, if we were using it, we can't use it if the temperature is too low. Basically, this is the temperature because the burner press needs to soften materials up before it can actually press them. So let me get out all the different materials. You're gonna need a plate stamp, whatever you want to press, and some coal or lava or any hot material that has a possibility to be burnt. So up here we have the slot for stamps. I'm gonna use a plate stamp in this case, which is created using the machine template folder. And down here, I have some industrial grade copper, which I can place there. But you may see, but chosen, nothing is happening. And the reason for that is because we need to place some kind of fuel in here. As you can see, the fuel will get expended. The heat will slowly rise. And so, it will give us a copper plate. If I put more copper in there, we put in a whole stack. As you can see, at the beginning, it's really slow. But as it heats up, it gets faster. It gets much faster. And when it's at its maximum heat, which depends on the item, it's faster. So yeah, you should probably you should keep that in mind, that if you're gonna press a bunch of things, you need to make sure that the burner presses is well, heats it up first, and it will slowly use up this coal. As you can see, every piece of coal has, I think, 6 operations, but with every press it has 8 operations. So that means that eventually over time the coal will get used up, and if I take out the coal, once these operations are done, the heat meter will start going down, and oh, it didn't continue because the stamp broke. Another thing to keep in mind is that the stamp will eventually break, unless you have dash stamps, which in early game is not really the case, is it? Next up, we have the Anvil. And the Anvil is a bit more like a traditional Minecraft machine. You can craft it in a crafting table. You just need 6 iron ingots, and an iron block. Once you place it down, you can right click it to open its GUI. And as you can see here, we have multiple materials. Multiple blocks, and other things that you'll need to craft to progress in the mod. So let me grab the example items. I have 1 steel ingot. And the way you craft with this is you actually have to select what you want to craft. Once you select it, over here in the inputs, it will show you the materials that you need. If you don't have the materials, it will show up in red. But if you do, it will show up as normal white. So as you can see, it's telling me I can because I have 1 steel ingot. And this is actually not for these, and it also unfortunately doesn't work for enchanting. It only works to upgrade anvils, so that means you need to keep at least 2 around. It also works for forging and plates and stuff. So yeah. But once you have the recipe you want selected, just click here. And there we go. It will make the recipe and it will give you the outputs, which in this case is steel deco blocks. So yeah, that's how that works. And next up we have the 2 final machines, the blast furnace and the bricked furnace. The blast furnace is, well, a very curious machine. You can craft it in an anvil with 4 stone bricks, 4 fire bricks, and 4 copper plates. Once you place it down, you can right click it to open its GUI. Sorry. Over here to the left, we have the slot for fuel. As you can see, this is a buffer. Up here, well, over here we have the slots for the items that are actually going to be processed. Over here we have the progress buffer, and here we have the slot for the final product. If you click here, you can also see the many different recipes, and well, it will show you in this layout, which makes it more intuitive. So let me pull out some items, some coal, some iron, and a lava bucket. So the way this works is you need to put any material in these 2 slots. For example, for the recipe for steel, which is one of the most basic materials, is iron plus coal in a blast furnace. But as you can see, nothing is happening, and the reason for that is that we need to place fuel in here. Now the fuel doesn't necessarily have to be lava, it can be coal, it can be coke, things like that. But as you can see, it will slowly start processing it. And then, when this buffer is done, it will give us some steel. And this buffer will also go down. So you need to make sure to periodically refill it if you're going to be, transforming large amounts of items. So just going to leave that there for now. And the next and final machine is the bricked furnace, which is another early game machine. And it basically works like a regular Minecraft furnace. However, it has a certain special advantage. That being that it smelts construction materials much faster than the regular furnaces would. So let me make an example here. Let me get some iron ore. Let's get about 12. There we go. And as you can see, you need to put coal in this top slot and then clay, or well, whatever you want to smelt. I think here. Yeah. And as you can see, it will start operating. And as you can see, it's much faster because it is a construction material. And it allows it to make bricks really, really quickly. It also works for other things. I'm pretty sure, like stone and things like that. It's much faster for construction materials. It's a very crude furnace, and it's only really early game. Yeah, as you can see, if I take the clay out and bricks, and instead put in the iron ore, as you can see, it's like a normal furnace. So this boost only applies to construction materials. Oh, and another thing is that once the coal runs out, or well, once your fuel runs out, it will produce ash. So let me just speed this up real quick. And there we go. As you can see, one coal was expended and it gave us some coal ash, which can then be used for different things. It can be used as a dye. It can be used in certain recipes, like for example here in industrial fertilizer, ceramic dye, for power armor, loads of things. So you will need to make ash at some point. And well, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it running, doing its thing. And that is the basics of all these different machines. So you might wonder, Chosen, so how do we master these machines? Quite simple, really. Over here in this chest of secrets, I have a couple upgrades for the different machines. And one that I forgot to include. There we go. Sorry for that. I forgot to include it. As you can see here, I have a power saving upgrade, an overdrive upgrade, an effectiveness upgrade, and a speed upgrade. So these two machines work the same way in terms of upgrades. As you can see, once you open the GUI and highlight them, it will tell you its effect. For example, for Speed Upgrade Mark 1, it reduces the process time by 25% for any recipe, but it increases the energy consumption by 300%. So I wouldn't recommend installing upgrades unless you have a strong, really good power grid, because otherwise the power is just going to run out and the machines aren't going to do anything. So let me put a speed upgrade in here. The effectiveness upgrade is unfortunately not accepted. Over here in the chemical plant, we have for the power saving upgrade, it reduces power consumption by 30%, so it saves up power, but it increases the process time by 5%. So it actually kind of offsets a little bit the effects of the speed upgrade. So yeah, it kind of offsets them a bit. It actually so the end results would be 20% process time and plus 260% consumption, which is actually really bad. And over here we have the overdrive upgrade, which for the chemical plant it just says yes, but let me tell you its effect. Basically, it makes the chemical plant super fast. It's like a speed upgrade on crack, but it will massively increase consumption. So let me test the power saving and speed upgrades right now. Let me grab the infinite water tank, and we'll make the same recipe as before. Just hydrogen peroxide, so you can see. And it is much faster. I'll put a comparison right now. It is slightly faster, but it does use up more power, which is unfortunate. And now, instead of the speed upgrade, as you can see when I take it out, it becomes much slower. Let's put in the overdrive upgrade. And as you can see, it's much, much faster, but it's also using up a heck ton of power. So yeah, that's how those upgrades work. Let me get them back. And for these machines, well, there aren't many upgrades, so to speak. For the shredder, there is the upgraded shredder blades. I was using the lowest level, which is steel. But you can also make them out of titanium, advanced alloy, and dash. Now the thing with the dash shredder blades is that they don't wear down. So if I grab some iron and split across here, as you can see, when the operations are done, it doesn't eat up durability, which means that the shredder blades will work infinitely. I can leave that forever, and it will never end. For the burner press, we actually have two possible areas of upgrades. Oh geez, I forgot to put this back in the crate. Let me put it all back. As you can see, yeah, the shredder blades are not being used up. For the burner press, we actually have two different areas of upgrades. That being physical and stamps. Now, if you want to make a lot of materials, stamps are made out of dash are the way to go. They're expensive. You need satinite. Oh, sorry, you need ferrouranium, bricks, and dash. And well, ferrouranium is actually pretty expensive. You need to alloy it from uranium and steel. So if I put this plate stamp here, all the items made out of dash will never deplete, by the way. So just making that clear. Actually, yeah, let me show you. If I grab the coal and the industrial grade copper from earlier, if I place this here, it'll start heating up and put the copper there. You can see it will start off slow, but the plates will not be used up. It can just go on infinitely, and as long as there's fuel and this slot doesn't get full, it will continue. And the second upgrade for the burner. Oh jeez, just grab it. The second upgrade is a preheater, which all it does is make your fuel more efficient. You can craft it with 3 copper plates, 3 stone, 2 tungsten, and a fluid tank full of lava. You see, place the burner press on top, place the coal in, place the plate stamp, and as you can see, it will heat up much faster, which means that the operations will be faster. Thus, it will be done much faster, which is absolutely amazing. It will also make the heat go down slower in case of the fuel being used up. As for the anvil, well, it's quite simple really. There are just different anvil types, and the more you upgrade, the more stuff you can craft. So for example, steel, dash, satinite, ferrouranium, bismuth bronze, and ferrixcarbide, and neutronium, and osmiridium. Jesus Christ. So let me just place them all down here in order. Whoops. There we go. Those are all the anvils. As you can see here, we don't have that many recipes. We have more than the first anvil, the iron anvil. And as you can see, as we go on, more and more get added. More complicated, more resource intensive. To the point that you can craft pretty much anything in here. So yeah, you want to upgrade your anvils as much as possible. And finally, for the blast furnace, we simply have the blast furnace extension, which is 1 copper plate, 4 fire bricks, and 2 steel grates, and you place it on top like this. As you can see, we'll now get rid of the top texture and make it so it's like a bit of an artisanal oven. And what it does is it will make the blast furnace faster and more efficient. So for example, before it was super slow, this was much faster. Let me put a comparison on screen right now. But yeah, it is much faster and uses up less fuel. And finally, for the brick furnace, unfortunately, there are no upgrades available. Sad. But aside from that, guys, that's all for the machines. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video and it helped you in your HBM future adventures. I should probably make a video at some point of the progression, though Savage Vegeta already has made a video on that. So yeah, for all of you who are not interested in my Subnautica announcement, or was it? No, for those of you who are not interested in my other announcements, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, join my Discord, and follow me on Twitch. I occasionally stream there. And remember to I don't know, keep supporting me if you like this video. So yeah, aside from that, it's been a chosen individual, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, gamers. For those of you interested in my announcement, I want to move the channel a bit away from HBM. Instead of just covering HBMs every single time or covering Subnautica every single time, I want to start covering sci-fi. So that would be, well, not just sci-fi, but games in general, but with an emphasis on sci-fi. So for example, that'd be things like Subnautica, Below Zero, certain Roblox games, Minecraft too falls into that category. I'm not gonna completely discontinue HBM, but I also don't want to like do it 24/7 like I did before, because that would help me get burnt out really fast. And well, that's what happened last year, actually. I was uploading so much survival series and so much HBM that I actually started to get burned out, and so I was like, okay. And that's why I didn't upload for so long, so I hope you can forgive that. As for streams, I will be announcing in my Discord server about an hour or so before I stream on Twitch. I'm trying to rig it up so I can stream on both Twitch and YouTube, so that the guys are that are YouTube only, the YouTube gang, are caught up too. If you're in my Discord server, I recommend subscribing to the announcement pings, which my friend Chair Pizza made. Thank you, Chair, once more. I love you. I recommend subscribing to that because that's where I announce all the things, like streams, new polls, or community posts on the channel, things like that, and it'll help you engage with me much more. Remember that I value your feedback a lot, and, well, if you guys tell me to do something, I usually do it. So, yeah, that's it for announcements. Now for the real dismissal. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. It's been a chosen individual, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, gamers.